Salford studios of Salford Radio, I also met a young lady who knows everything about Strawberry Studios. Now, some of you won't know Strawberry Studios. They were set up in the 70s, and it ran for quite a few years, Strawberry Studios. People, for instance, got a list of people here who recorded there: the Ramones, Joy Division, Stone Roses, the Moody Blues, even Cliff Richard, Paul McCartney, Phil Collins, and Neil Sedaka. Neil Sedaka came over from America, and he recorded the... So the studio was formed by a couple of guys, Peter Tattersall, who was a member of Billy J. Kramer and the Mindbenders, and Eric Stewart. Let me introduce you. I used to sneak past Strawberry Studios in Stockport. I didn't live in Stockport, but I used to go past and think, should I knock on the door and go in?
You should have done. I'd have been there.
And I was too afraid to go in there, you know.
Oh gosh!
Because it was.
I've heard that one before.
Well, it seems such a magical place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A place that.
Yeah, people say that. Yeah. It's quite gratifying, really.
Yeah. So I always say when I speak to people, I know Pauline Renshaw, who worked at Strawberry Studios, and she was hot legs.
Yeah, they denied that emphatically, but I heard them giggling about it one day. Anyway, it didn't last long when it changed to 10cc.
So tell me,
what the origin of...
Yeah, go on. Yeah, go on.
You know what the origin of 10cc, the name is?
I did know this, but go on, tell me.
It's supposed to be the average amount that a man ejaculates each time.
Oh, right.
10 cc's of fluid.
It's supposed to be
I can't think of a polite way. Pardon?
A teaspoonful.
Yeah. Can't think of a polite way to put that. Because they deny it emphatically now, but it's true. I was there.
It's true. Well, so tell me a little about the early days of Strawberry.
Well, it wasn't called Strawberry for one thing. It was called Intercity Sound.
Intercity, yeah.
Yeah, and we had a studio over Neil and Hardy.
Okay.
A lot of people don't, but that's where... Well, I don't know how much you can say about it. It was Ray Territt that came to see me, so I'm going to invest in this studio.
Right.
You know why? I don't put his name now, but
yeah.
I'm very friends with him, you know what I mean?
Yep.
He had a bad deal. And he was the first investor, and we got out of Neil and Hardy, found the premises, and started rebuilding all the top equipment. Peter Tattersall, I just got loads of stuff in about Neumann mics and TX and stuff. He was engrossed in that all the time. Now I'm thinking, got to get us some sales now. That's how we got Eric involved, because we ran out of Ray Territt's money.
Yeah.
And we still need a lot of stuff just for the actual control room, if nothing else.
Okay.
We were pinning acoustic tiles on the walls ourselves.
Right.
There's pictures of me somewhere up ladders holding these acoustic tiles up while somebody else battered them in. So it cost a lot of money, really, for those days. So we needed another, because they knew Eric already, Eric's first band was the Emperors of Rhythm.
Right.
It was Paul Stevens' band, but they did all the clubs and the youth clubs around, so that's where I first met him.
Okay.
I've got a photograph, I'll send it to you if you remind me.
Okay.
Of him in that band.
And Eric Stewart was obviously part of 10cc.
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's the studio that was responsible for it, 10cc coming into being, really, because Eric and they all had the same agent. Remember Kennedy Street?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So everybody knew everybody a little bit in the business, if you know what I mean.
Everybody knew everybody in Manchester, because it wasn't a big place, and if you were in the business, you got to know people quite easily, didn't you? Mainly through the music shops. Yeah, all the music shops, you know, people used to go to.
And the Scousers as well, if I'm fair, because they did regular. I had favourites that I was going to. From youth club days when I was about 13, 14, my uncle and auntie used to run a local youth club. We used to get all the bands on. And Carl Wayne and the Vikings was one of my favourites. They became, as you know, The Move and ELO and what have you.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
No, you're telling me lovely things that I didn't know.
Oh, if I start rambling, you better stop then. We're recording already.
You're a mind of information. Yeah, we're rolling, yes. Yeah. So that's...
They were from Stoke, but the business was so many venues in those days. Even at 13, you could go all to different youth clubs and what have you.
Yeah.
And of course, the girls, we dressed up as though we were 16 anyway, and got in quite a lot of the places. There were so many gigs, and Carl Wayne and those were sort of the Midlands. And to me, he was one of the best vocalists ever.
Yeah.
But he died quite young. He played with the Hollies, The Move, you know, but his own band originally. We used to go and see at the youth clubs. was Colwyn and the Vikings.
Okay. Okay.
That's where I saw Eric and Paul Stevens' band, Emperors of Rhythm, and everybody else really. Wayne Fontana and the Jets, it was then.
Originally. Okay.
And so really, because my uncle and auntie used to run it, and I used to take them cups of coffee and things, the on stage, that's how it formed. There wasn't a band, you know, because Graham had so many hits that he'd written for other people. If you got Wayne, Herman's Hermits, just loads of hits. The Yardbirds, he wrote hits for Your Love, and a lot more. Pamela.
Oh yeah.
So he was up there amongst top songwriters, and he was still sort of not gigging as such even with the guys, but I knew he had a lot of hits and some money in the bank. So when we ran out of Graham, when we ran out
Eric's
of Ray
money.
and Eric's money, got on to Graham, and he came down to meet us in the Waterloo pub,
Yeah.
just across the road from the studio. I think we were in there most of the afternoon.
And seal the deal.
He decided, seal the deal.
Seal the deal.
So we got the Studers and the Neumann mics eventually, which are the best studio mics you can buy.
Yeah.
And because I had to learn all that side of it as well. We weren't going for anything cheap, you know what I mean, to get the sound.
Fabulous.
Then they started coming in and testing what sounds we could get when we finished the control room and all the rest of it. And he brought Kevin and Lol in, and they used to just run by us and make sort of just simple 2-track tapes, so we could test everything out. And that was the beginning of 10cc.
And was Godley and Cream after 10cc or before?
Oh, they were there from the beginning.
They were there from the beginning.
You know, they were just as mates of Graham.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Graham had his own studio, if you look at it that way.
Okay.
They were all equal partners, don't we? Ray had to drop out because one of the agents wasn't too keen on it. It wasn't, you know, he was still doing Radio Caroline then, but he couldn't get over enough anyway. So, it built from there. They were coming in, they were playing drums. We even got piano from somewhere, and I even remember getting a piano tuner because it sounded awful. But they were running through stuff so we could practice, you know, how to get the best sound. And bearing in mind at this point we were only 4-track.
Yes, yeah.
We'd been 2-track in the previous studio. And it was then we started to change the name because we knew it was building and the interest was good. Loads of people other than just those guys, you know, we had bands and we were making money as payback, you know, and people like Ken Dodd. He came in and put a voice track down with his own backing tapes. Loads of people like that. And with them having it sort of, mostly after I'd gone home and shut the office for the night, but they'd be still in there and all these songs started coming out.
Till 4 o'clock in the morning, yeah, I know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So they changed the name to Strawberry, and that was on the back of Strawberry Fields, wasn't it? The songs by the Beatles. Well,
if you see Eric's interviews, apparently so, but no, that's not how it happened.
Okay.
I have
Spill the beans.
No, what happened was this, not argument, but this conversation had been going on for a week. You know, what should we call it? Don't like intercity sounds, which was perfectly all right for them. As somebody said we weren't a city, so that was irrelevant to me. But all these daft words were coming out from Kevin, Lowell and Graham and Eric and Peter and all of us. And then I said, look, I'd been to a promotional do for Apple Studios, and they gave me a beautiful Apple Watch. You know, I wish I could find it, worth a fortune now.
Yeah.
And
you started thinking about
I said,
fruit.
look, the Beatles, I said, the Beatles, they call theirs, you know, music studios and what. Apple, think of another fruit. I'm going on that then. We were really fed up a bit by then. So we landed on Strawberry, and that's how it started.
Oh, what a lovely story.
I got on to one of my art school mates, who was a lot better at art school than I was, on commercial stuff. And he did all of the original paperwork for us and the posters and what have you for Strawberry Studios. So that's the real story of how it came about.
Super. That's lovely. It's a lovely story. Thank you very much for telling me that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's good.
You're welcome.
You're certainly a mind of information.